Ted Kravitz has said that he sees Sebastian Vettel coming back to Red Bull as motorsport advisor to replace Helmut Marko. When he first started talking about it, I thought he was saying as a driver. And I've seen some things from Seb. He's given some interviews, and I think there was an Instagram post where it said on his page, that maybe he's not done with racing and that he'd like to get back into racing. Regardless of that, I don't see him coming back to Formula 1. I feel like he'll honour his retirement. And in a way, I suppose it would be a shame if he didn't, because, it was a sad goodbye. And I think he has acknowledged that he wanted to go on to do different things, and I hope he does go on to do different things. But it would be wonderful to see him back in any other form of racing. And look, I wouldn't say no to him coming back to Formula 1, of course, but I feel like he's a man of his word, and we'll try to stay true to that. But what does interest me is these whisperings from Ted Kravitz about Vettel coming back to replace Helmut Marko. I've read some rumours that Marko apparently doesn't get on with his new boss. Since Dietrich died, I think they've split things up, and there's different people looking after different areas. And the sports boss and Marko gave a quote and said that they don't have a friendly relationship. So, and also it implied that he can quit his F1 job whenever he wants. There's no contract. He doesn't have to stick around if he doesn't want to. And I think it would be a perfect love story if Vettel got to come back to Red Bull and be the person who guides through the young talent that he once was, and he was guided through by Red Bull to win 4 World Championships. And I think, Marko does a lot of looking after the juniors in Formula 3, Formula 2, and even further down. And if Vettel could come in, first of all, he would have brilliant qualities as a driver coach to be able to bring those drivers through and do a lot for them. But also, I feel like his communication skills, his knowledge for the world of F1, how it works, I think he would have brilliant perspective, not only to be able to give advice to drivers, but also he was just around the sport for so long that through osmosis he would have learned about different roles. There's reports from everyone that he's ever worked with to say that he's like an engineer and he pores over data no end. He's the first into the track in the morning and last to leave the track at night. So his passion, that passion for the world of Formula 1 and racing doesn't just vanish. And I think and really hope that we will see him back again. And this makes me sad because I remember Helmut Marko saying that if Sebastian Vettel took a year off after he left Ferrari, they would have put him in the Red Bull, which really upsets me because I would have loved to see Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen, the two biggest golden boys that Red Bull have ever had, in the same team at the same time, and just see how that works. You'd have to think Max would have the beating of him, but it would have been such a beautiful, beautiful story if Seb got to go home to Red Bull, where he belonged in my eyes, That's where he won his 4 World Championships, and it never really clicked at Ferrari, unfortunately. But I hope that Seb can come back to the sport in some capacity or another. I know there was some whisperings too of him maybe working with F1, just working for F1 as in a general role rather than working with any team. But I think any team would be delighted to take him in a motorsport advisor role or a consultant role kind of thing. The same way Jenson Button is with Williams at the moment. I think Seb could do a lot for a team in that sense, even just to boost morale. To have a 4-time world champion around who has won so many races, so many pole positions, that has to drive you on. And I think it's evidenced in the progress that Aston Martin made. Yes, Seb isn't there now, but he was there for the last 2 years, struggling in a team that was not fast, but still he maintained the attitude of let's push forward, let's reach a high quality. And they have done it now, and a lot of that has to be thanks to his work. Unfortunately, he's not there to reap the rewards, which is making me sad. And he must feel, I know he's given interviews and said that he doesn't feel regret. There must be a tinge of regret. He wants to be fighting at the front. He said it for so many years that he wouldn't race around at the back, and he raced around at the back for 2 years and made a team. I mean, not just him, obviously, there was other people involved, but he played a big part in making a team that is now racing at the front, and he's not there to enjoy it, which makes me sad. But anyway, I hope that Sebastian Vettel comes back to F1. I think I've made that clear. In some capacity. Not necessarily racing. I think he would be brilliant around the paddock as a figure. For young drivers, for teams, his experience is incredibly valuable, I think, and I hope it happens. So we'll keep an eye on this one. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.